Hello, friends. I hope you're out wandering through nature, exploring the natural world around you. Do you enjoy writing about your wanderings? Nature journaling is an awesome, fun way to remember all the adventures you have taken and how you felt during those journeys. If you're looking for some beautiful journals to keep track of all your wanderings, I have several available on Amazon, including some guided journals for children. Start your journey in journaling by clicking on the link in the show notes. Keep exploring the nature around you and keep journaling all your wanderings. Hello, friends, and welcome to the Nature Wanderer podcast. This is Paul, your host, and I'm glad to have you with me. I am out and about today. I'm actually just trying to get out, explore nature, and have time for myself. So I want to bring you with me, even though it's having time for myself. I want you to join me on my wandering today. I'm down in Cattaraugus County, New York, and I believe this is Great Valley. I've seen different websites say different townships for where I'm located. I'm kind of thinking it spans more than one township. I'm in the state forest, New York State forested area. This is what they call Rock City State Forest, and I'm going to do a podcast, an episode next week about Little Rock City, and we'll talk a little bit about geology. And so I'm not going to get too much into the geology of this place, but it's a beautiful place. All these beautiful boulders here. The forest is just massive. Rock City neighbors McCarty Hill State Forest. So there's two state forests like right next to each other. They butt up against each other. And the Rock City is approximately 2,950 acres. So it's quite a large place. As I'm walking along, I have a new trail I've been hiking here. And it's one I've been here many times before. Usually I'm climbing on the rocks, exploring the area that they call Little Rock City, which has these huge boulders. The area that I'm in now is actually away from Little Rock City, and it is part of Rock City State Forest. But it's a new trail, never been on this one before, so I thought I'd check it out. When I first started from the parking lot, I was on the Conservation Trail, which runs north to south through New York State, western New York. And there's I passed a lean-to a little ways back. There's lean-tos along the way if you ever want to do the whole trail. It's quite long. It's a couple hundred miles, several hundred miles. I don't know exactly. I used to know, but I can't remember what it is, so I apologize. But it's a gorgeous day. You know, it's not too warm. It's in the lower 70s right now. It's supposed to warm up a little bit more this afternoon. And middle of the week, you can probably hear the breeze through the trees and the birds singing. And it's a beautiful place to come. If you ever get the chance, if you're ever in the area, I highly recommend Rock City. Even if you just want to go to the Little Rock City area and climb around on the rocks, it's still so wonderful. But I recommend coming during the week. And the reason I say that is because on the weekends, this is a multi-use area. There are campsites here, so people do camp, and it's not reserved. First come, first serve. They've got little pull-outs. You pull into this little parking area, and you just pitch your tent. Some of the sites have picnic tables. They have fire rings. Make sure the fires are under control. So, I mean, it's multi-use, but middle of the week, you don't get the crowds. On the weekend, you get a lot of the locals just coming up here just to hang out, sometimes throwing parties, celebrations. It is 4th of July week, so I'm sure that there will be people here on Thursday. I'm recording this ahead of time, and I'll explain why in a few minutes, but today, it's a Tuesday, and when I got here, I'm pulling in, I passed one car parked at the side of the rocky dirt road, lots of potholes and bumps, but one car was parked on the side out hiking somewhere, and then I saw another campsite that had a bunch of chairs set up and tables, no vehicle, so I don't know if they're out somewhere else, but they left everything set up in their campsite. And then I passed another campsite with just some van parked in it, no one around, so they're probably out hiking, and that was it. Yeah, very few people here today. I haven't run across anybody. So it's absolutely beautiful, it's peaceful, and that's what I wanted today. I've been noticing, it's like last night, I didn't fall asleep till like 1 a.m. It's just so much racing through my head, so much going on right now in my life. I woke up and I just did not feel rested. And this has been going on, for the past couple of months. Especially the past few weeks, we've been going through a lot of changes, my wife and I. There's a lot of stressors that have been coming into our lives, and we're doing our best to handle it, and I actually think we're doing quite well, but I have been noticing like the sleeping thing. I've been having a lot of things on my mind, so I haven't been able to sleep well. I've noticed that I've been a little bit more tense. I can always tell when, it's like I wake up and my tongue is pressed up against the roof of my mouth and my teeth are clenched and my jaw is a little bit sore. It's like, oh yeah, I'm getting stressed. I need to do something. Well, so here's what's going on in my life. Okay, there are going to be some changes in the podcast soon. Nothing major. I'm actually trying to get some episodes recorded a little early. So like I said, 4th of July week is when I'm recording this on Tuesday, but it won't come out for probably next week, but it might be the week after. I'm trying to get some episodes recorded ahead of time because we're moving. Yeah, my wife and I, for the past 2 years, have been trying to sell our house. We took it off the market over the winter, but I'm not going to get into too much detail. We decided we wanted to get closer to her pottery shop in East Aurora. Black Raven Pottery, come visit. We also wanted to get closer to our kids and our grandkids. So we have been trying to sell our house. We have an earth-bermed house. We have geothermal, we have a windmill, we have solar panels. So all of this is, stuff that has made it difficult for us to sell. And I know it sounds strange. It's like, why would that make it difficult? It sounds great to me. I mean, I'd be jumping out, but most people don't get this stuff. They don't understand it. They don't understand geothermal heating. So they look at the houses in the area and say, oh, wow, they're asking a whole lot more than all the other houses in it. We're an outlier, and people don't get that. Oh, there's an awesome tree here. I always love when I see this. This tree, actually, the seed was planted when this other tree died. So there's a big, massive, rotting trunk here. And this tree, a seed floated through the air, was carried here by a bird, I don't know, but it landed on the stump. And it used the nutrients of the stump to grow. And now the stump keeps getting wet, rotting away, and this tree is just growing around. So the roots, it almost looks like the roots are legs, supporting the tree up in the air a little bit, because that stump is rotting underneath it. So kind of cool. But anyhow, back to what I was saying. You know me, I like to let you know what I'm seeing, all the really neat stuff around me. But you know, people don't understand it, so we had trouble selling. We took it off the market for the winter. This year we lowered our price a little bit, even though we know it's worth a lot more, but we lowered our price a little bit, and we sold it within 2 weeks. So we got our house sold. We had no place to live. We've been looking and looking, and we finally, like 2 weeks after we sold our house, we found a house that we really liked, and we put a bid in on it. We weren't the highest, but because we, you know, were a cash deal, we beat out the other two. But anyhow, we found a house in Orchard Park, New York. We are downsizing. Just saw, hikers, thought it was deer. So we are downsizing, going from 12 acres down to a half acre. So because we're downsizing, it's going to be quite an adventure for the episodes, because you're going to learn how you don't need 12 acres to get out and enjoy nature. I know I've been spending a lot of episodes in the wilds of my backyard. Hey, when you have 12 acres, part of it wooded, part of it open field, there's so much to talk about. But you know what? Even in a half acre, you know, you still have a lot to discover with nature. I'm still doing bird banding in my backyard, just winter banding probably. I'm going to contact a local park and see if I can do maps bird banding there. But so I've got a lot of changes going on. My wife and I are going through a lot of changes. We bought a house. We sold our house. We have to, you know, deal with closing dates, lawyers, all the requirements of, you know, you have to do this before you sell your house. You have to, you know, have the septic checked. You have to have the water checked for, you know, bacteria and such. All these things have been going on. Plus, we've got 30 plus years of accumulated stuff, and we've been downsizing. We actually downsized quite a bit last year, but we still downsized more this year. Yeah, we got rid of a lot of stuff, and it's been quite an experience. You know, it's like trying to sell stuff on Marketplace, Facebook Marketplace, dealing with all the scam artists, trying to donate a lot to charities and people. Actually, tomorrow I've got a charity coming to pick up probably about 6 bags of, you know, items and clothing. So a lot of stuff. It's amazing how much you accumulate over 30 years. And, you know, I have had a bunch of my mother's stuff in the attic, my father's stuff in the attic when they passed away, stuff that has some sentimental value, stuff that doesn't have any sentimental value. So it's just a lot of stuff. So we've been going through that. We've been packing up. Our house is probably about 2/3 packed right now. We're living in this house. It's like I had a small repair to do in the house that I noticed when I moved something. It's like, oh yeah, I got to fix that. So it's like my tools, they're already packed up. So I'm digging through boxes. My wife was laughing at me the one day. Bev was laughing because I opened and retaped the same box like 3 times. I finally just stopped taping it closed. It's like, I know I'm going to need something else out of there. So it's just been crazy with all this going on. Plus, it's been the end of school. Most of you probably already know from listening to my episodes that I do substitute teaching at a local middle school. I love the middle school. You know, great kids, great teachers. I've been there 13 years, and I actually had to say goodbye to a lot of them. I'm probably not going back to that school next year because of where we're moving to, a little bit further away from, you know, the school, Springville. So I've been filling out resumes for a couple of local schools, not because I need the money, not because I have to, but because I love teaching. So, you know, that's another big change. It's like all these friends that I've made at the middle school for the past 13 years. It was so nice. The dean of students, I asked her if she would be a reference for me, and she's like, yeah, well, I really don't want to because I don't want you leaving. And she talked about how, she says, yeah, you're not just substitute teacher, you're one of the teachers here. And, you know, she almost had me in tears. So, yeah, tough times, sorry. So yeah, I've got, you know, a big move coming up, a lot of changes. Where am I going to go shopping? Where are we taking our dogs for, you know, for the vet? Where are we going to take our dogs for nail trimmings? And, you know, all these different changes. I mean, I know the town we're going to, but I'm not familiar with it, okay? We'll put it that way. It's like right next to East Aurora, which is where I was raised, but we didn't spend a lot of time in Orchard Park. So I got to learn all these new things about Orchard Park. Luckily, you know, we're in East Aurora all the time because my wife's shop, and I'll have those shops. But anyhow, I don't want to get sidetracked here. Changes, and it's stressful. And my sister's health is failing. She's not doing very well. I'm the youngest of all the siblings. I have, you know, 4 other siblings. They're all getting older. You know, I'm the youngest, so, you know, I see their ailments, you know, before my ailments. And it's tough. It's really tough to see these things. So anyhow, I've got that I'm dealing with, trying to, you know, keep my niece, you know, from, you know, having to take on too much of the responsibility of her mother's illness. So it's, you know, got, like I said, a lot going on. And that's why I've been having trouble sleeping, and I've been noticing the stress coming back into my life. Now, I do a lot, my wife does too, we both do a lot to control our stress. We always try to make time for ourselves. In the evenings, we like to just, it's like, okay, we're done. Let's just sit out on the patio, relax, you know, watch the birds. I was sitting there yesterday with her. It was funny. I'm just staring in space, and she's like, what are you thinking? You're not going to get up and do something. She knows me. Yeah, I have trouble sitting still. One of my bad points. So she kept thinking that I was going to get up and do something. And so what I was doing, though, was not thinking. I was just staring at the birds. It's like, you know, we sit on the patio all the time, and I love watching the birds, but something about last night was just, hey, I'm just really enjoying this, you know. It was a busy day, stressful day. We sat out on the patio after dinner and just had a glass of water and just relaxed. And it was nice to just sit there and watch the birds. That's all I was doing, staring at the birds. It was like we had some baby woodpeckers and all that. Anyhow, I'm rambling here. So the reason that I'm out here today is to de-stress. I don't know if you recall my episode about how the woods heals. And there have been studies, many studies have shown, spending time in the woods relaxes, it heals, it lowers blood pressure, it makes you, you know, think clearer, makes you, you know, just all around more healthy. Even an hour with the woods, not in the woods, but, well, in the woods helps too, but I'm talking about with the woods, yeah, just absorbing it all. Just taking a deep breath, you know, breathing in all that clean air. all the air that the trees are breathing out. You know, I needed this today. So my wife and I decided, and I'm recommending this to you too, put it on the calendar. Yeah, we checked our calendars, it's like Tuesday. I know, we should be packing up the house more, we should be doing this, we should be doing that. But it's like, well, we have the whole day. Let's take the morning to just get out and hike, be with the woods, you know, enjoy, relax. So that was our plan, we put it on the calendar. You know? And I'm going to recommend it to you too. How many times do you get busy? And it's like, oh, I can't find time to go hiking. Well, make time. Put it on the calendar. I've got friends who are just constantly busy. You know, they've got kids, they've got sports to go to, dances, and then they have work, they have, you know, hobbies, they have so much. And they don't get out in the woods often enough, out in nature, and that's what they enjoy doing. So, yeah, make a point of doing that. So that's what I'm going to recommend to you, is just get out and explore nature. So that's what I decided to do today. We got a text message the other day, though, 2 days ago, and my wife got a message from my son saying, hey, are either of you two available, or both of you available on Tuesday to watch our granddaughter? And our granddaughter, she wasn't feeling well, she couldn't go to daycare. They keep her out for a certain number of days if she's sick, and so, and that's daycare rules. I understand, keeping everyone else healthy and safe, but they needed a babysitter because they, you know, they can't just take off of work. My son's in management. My daughter-in-law is a legal, she's a lawyer, but I think she's actually a legal assistant right now for a judge. So busy, you know, they can't take off. So my wife says, yeah, I'll come and watch Kylie. Get some chipmunks rustling through the woods. So that's where my wife is, and so I'm breaking my rule. Yeah, the one that I'm always telling you guys not to do. I am hiking alone. So don't hike alone. But yeah, I am hiking alone on this beautiful day. And it was mostly because, you know, I love to go up and see my granddaughter. I love seeing her. She's so wonderful. All my grandkids are. So, but my wife was like, you know, you're going to sit around bored. You're going to want something to do. You know, so you can come up and we can go hiking, but where my son lives right now, there aren't a lot of places around him to go hiking, and I'm not much to walk around the development. Or sit in the backyard and, you know, do nothing. So she says, why don't you get out? You need it. Go hiking. You know, I will, you know, go with you next week when we have time. So that's what I did. I'm hiking out alone here. Sorry. Breaking my own rule. But, and the whole reason I'm out here is just to de-stress. And, you know, I've been out here for about an hour now, hiking through the woods. Right now I'm hiking along a roadside to get to the next trail. Lots of trails through here. That's why you may hear a little bit more wind. But I've been out here an hour, and it's honestly, it was like, after walking through the woods for about 15 minutes, that's all I needed. That is all I needed. You know, I could feel the stress just flowing right out of my body. It's like just disappearing. It was just so relaxing. So it does help, but remember, it doesn't last forever. You know, the studies have shown it only takes about an hour in the woods to, you know, lower all those stress-causing hormones and chemicals in your body and to lower your blood pressure and all. But it only lasts for about a week. So make sure you get out there at least once a week. And that's the whole thing I want to talk to you about. I know I've been rambling here, but what's busy in your life? Do you have time to go out? When was the last time you went hiking in the woods? And with all this going on in my life, I actually was thinking about it last night and talking with my wife about it. And it's like, oh, you know, it's probably been about 2 weeks since we actually went out hiking in the woods. I mean, we go out in our backyard, taking the dogs for an evening walk, or morning walk. We do it all the time. Almost every day we're out on our 12 acres walking the property with the dogs, and you know, that does help. It's relaxing. It kind of clears our minds, and it's a nice close to the day. But here's the big but, okay? It's not out in the woods. We do have woods on our property. It's not out in the woods with the woods, you know, totally away from it all. I mean, our house is just like right there, but no, not here. So that's why we like at least once a week to get out in nature, with nature, you know, out hiking, out exploring. And, you know, when was the last time you did? It's been 2 weeks for me, and you would not believe how much more relaxed I am right now. And you're probably thinking, well, Paul, why are you doing a podcast episode then? Okay, if you're out there to be with yourself and to relax. Well, to me, this is relaxing too, talking to you guys, and this does relax me. So don't worry about me. I know what relaxes me in that. The first half hour I wasn't even recording. You know, I was just absorbing the woods. So, what are the stresses in your life? You know, is work getting to you? You know, tough time at work. I'm at an intersection here, so I got to check my map. Like I said, I'm on a new trail. Okay, so I got to go to the right. Okay. Oh, what's that trail there? I don't think that's on my map. We're going to take it. Another one of my, oh, don't do that. Yeah. But I've got good satellite here. Yeah, it is a trail. Okay, this is a trail. It is marked. They cut a big notch through a log. This, I believe, is going to take me to the other trail that I really want to be on. So anyhow, you know, is work stressing you out? You know, family commitments? Yeah, maybe there's, you know, medical issues. Maybe there's, you know, stuff going on in your life that you haven't figured out. Maybe there's changes like I've got going on right now. Changes in my life. Oh, beautiful little stream that I just crossed. So it's just absolutely beautiful here. Sorry, I keep getting distracted, but that's why I'm here. So what's going on in your life? You know, what's preventing you from getting out in the woods? Are you feeling the stresses? Like I said, I feel it in my jaw usually. My mind races at night. Maybe you're not getting enough sleep. You know, what's going on? You know, part of staying healthy, getting healthy, relaxing, part of it is figuring out what's causing the stress and seeing what you can do to alleviate that, to get rid of those stressors. If it's work, hey, can you do something to hand off some of the responsibility to a coworker who has less to do than you, and you don't want to make it tough on them, but, you know, will that help? You know, maybe it's a lot of, you know, family commitments. You know, those are tough to give up. I mean, I never tried to give those up. But, you know, what is causing these stresses? That's what you need to figure out, and try to figure out if you can downsize some of these stressors. And if not, well, then combat them. I actually have things that my wife and I do to, you know, get rid of some of the stresses in our life daily. We do these often. One of the things that we do is we do yoga. Pretty much every morning I'm doing yoga. Oh, wow. I'm going to take a break from talking here. Just found a beautiful spot here. The boulders are around me, which is where this place gets the name from, Rock City. I've got boulders around me. There's a small little like pond area. Very small, very, very, very small. You got water flowing. I don't know if you can hear that through the rocks. I'm going to shut up so that you can. So it's actually, the stream is meandering through the rocks here. Hits this pool, and then it meanders out of the pool and down through some more boulders. I keep calling them rocks, but it's boulders, trust me. These things are huge. And in front of me there's a boulder formation that's probably about, let's see, I'm going to say about 15 feet tall. Several boulders on top of each other. And there's a tree growing off of it. But I'm not going to get into too much of that because, like I said, I'm going to talk about geology and nature a little bit later with when I get to the Little Rock City. So anyhow, my wife and I do yoga. That always relaxes me. We always have our yoga list playing in the background, some very nice relaxing music. And then we try to do meditation. Yeah, my dogs are not always cooperative with that, but we try to do meditation when we can. We try to take time, to just sit out on the patio. So all of these things help us to relax. But you need more. You need more than just that. So think about all the stresses in your life and then make time to get rid of them. It doesn't make you healthy to be stressed. It makes you sick, and studies have shown this. All sorts of ailments from stress. I remember when I used to do wildlife rehabilitation and I had animals who died. 75% of the time it wasn't from their injury, it was from the stress of the injury and the stress of being around humans. So we did everything we could to keep the stress down. And same with people. It's not just wild animals, it's with people. I mean, we get stressed from different situations. Some people I apologize for all that tinking noise, but when I'm on trails like this with all the rocks, roots, unevenness, I always have my hiking stick, and my hiking stick has a spring loaded end to it. It just makes it easier on my body, I have found. Very stiff hiking stick does not do me well. So anyhow, make time to get rid of those stresses in your life. Figure out what's going on this week. Do what you can to get rid of the stresses, to lower those stresses. And, if you can't do enough, then make time to get in the woods. Make time to go hiking at a local park. Take time to just sit out in nature. Watch the birds like I did last night. I was just like mesmerized by all the little babies coming up to the feeders. And mom taking care of them. And it was another stressor in my life. I did my nest watch, and 2 of my boxes that should have had fledglings this check, because they were just about ready last time I checked the boxes. 2 of my boxes, one of the boxes was bluebirds, the other was tree swallows, and I was checking the boxes and I found dead babies in them. We've had a Cooper's hawk hanging out, and that just shattered me. It's like, oh my God, it's like I had, this is the second nesting of the bluebirds, and I always love when I get the fledglings, but that Cooper's hunk on. It was part of nature, I understand, but just killed me. So it was nice to just sit last night and just watch the birds at my feeder, listen to them calling in the woods. So yeah, that really helped. And got some pretty cool mushrooms here on the ground. Do not eat mushrooms. Say that right now. Do not eat mushrooms unless you absolutely know them. So I am out here de-stressing, and I want you to do the same. Make the time. Make the time for you. It's your health we're talking about. It's your sanity we're talking about. It's not just physical health, mental health. And in my opinion, this time in the woods, I'm just going to stop and just take it in. Breathe that fresh air. Listen to the birds calling. I mean, this is not just for my physical health. This is mostly for my mental health. The relaxation, the calming. Yeah, it's just such a beautiful place, beautiful woods. I had a section earlier that I went through that boulders on both sides, trail went right through the middle of them. Lots of fungus today in the woods here. That's nice. So just taking it all in. Once again, I mentioned it in another episode. Don't just go hiking in the woods. Go hiking with the woods. Absorb it all. And that's what does your mind good. It's what does your health good, is absorbing the woods. Taking it all in. Be part of the woods. Yeah, don't sit there with your headphones on. Oh, I hate people who hike with headphones on. You're not getting the whole effect of the woods. You want to hear the birds. You want to hear the wind rustling through the trees. You want to absorb all this. Take it all in. Not the music you're listening to. You can do that another time at home. I always recommend leaving your electronics at home. No, don't do that. I didn't recommend that. Turn them off. Okay. Where I am, very poor reception. Phone towers not around here. No, not close by. A lot of times it's real spotty reception in this area, but I have good satellite reception, which is good, so I know where I am on my map. I let my wife know where I was going. She knows exactly where I'm going, what trail I'm taking. I showed her my route, my planned route. She knows when I'm going to be home. So she is, I took all the safety precautions, especially hiking alone here. So turn those electronics off, or at least turn the volume off, silence them. You don't want to be distracted. If they need you at work, tough. You took the day off to go and absorb the woods, be part of the woods. You took time off for you. There's nothing that critical out there. If you have an emergency, have your phone on you. That's why I said don't leave it at home. Always have your phone with you, just in case there's an emergency. So get out, put it on your calendar. Don't do this while you're driving, but hopefully you're putting it on your calendar right now to get out in the woods. Find the time, make the time. I see too many people who don't make the time, and they're the ones who are so stressed that they get sick. And then they have plenty of time because they're sitting at home sick or in the hospital sick. No, you don't want that. So please do me a favor, do like I'm doing. Make the time to get out in nature. Make the time to absorb nature, to be with nature. You'll thank me for it. You'll thank nature for it. So I hope you enjoyed learning about getting out and de-stressing. All the crazy things going on in your life. I know I got a lot in my life right now. This was much needed. I feel so much more relaxed right now. I could probably sit on a rock and fall asleep, but that's how relaxed I feel. It's just so wonderful. So do me a favor this week and every week, at least an hour in nature, once a week. That's my recommendation. If you can do more, all the better. The more time, the better it's going to be for you. But do it. Don't just plan on it. Do it. Okay? And make it a priority. So don't just put it on the calendar and then something else comes along. It's like, oh yeah, I got to do that. So this wasn't a priority, so I'll just put that off for another week. So you're going to keep putting it off. You know you will. I would. So that's why I make it a priority. It's like, nope, I'm going. You know, unless it's a torrential downpour or bad weather where I can't go. But then I'm just going to postpone it. I'm not going to cancel. Okay, but make it a point. So I hope you'll do that. I hope you'll stay healthy. Hope you'll start communing with nature more. And don't forget that everything you need from supporting the podcast to, and please, 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 support the podcast. You know, I want to get some new equipment. I want to go to some new exciting places with you. I also want to start doing some programming. I want to make it free for people. So please support the podcast. Buy nature journals. I do have nature journals for sale. Go to my merch store. All of the links for all these things you can find in the show notes. Always go to the show notes because I always have more information in the show notes for you. So go to the show notes. You can find all the links there. And above all, keep exploring the nature around you. Have a great day, everybody.
Did you know that plastic is made with oil, a fossil fuel that pollutes the environment? And did you know that only about 15% of all plastic is recycled into new products? Wouldn't it be awesome if we could live our lives without plastic so that we could stop harming the planet? Well, there's a company that wants to help you do just that. Life Without Plastic sells products that will reduce or eliminate your dependence on plastic. They have a large selection from toothbrushes to food storage containers to drinking straws, all plastic free. And it's reasonably priced. So what are you waiting for? Check out all these great plastic-free products and help save the planet. Just click on the link in the show notes to find out more and to start your journey to being plastic-free.